Or at least I am in theory. There it is. All right. So, have you seen this painting called A Boating Party? I guess you haven't seen it yet because it's not presenting yet. How about now? There we go. Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is by a guy named Auguste Renoir. And what we're going to do is we're going to analyze this using the elements of art and principles of design. So using the elements of art and principles of design means that we have to pick one to analyze. So what would you say would be the first one that you would pick? Like line, value, color, rhythm. I'll let you think about that. First thing I'm going to do is, one of the things that's interesting about this painting is the direction that everyone is looking. So I'm going to use movement first. So movement. And I'm on a new layer, so I can just delete the whole layer and the painting is all just fine. I'm going to look first at the direction of everybody's gaze, the way that they're looking. So what are they looking at? When you see these arrows and you see it all add up, what's happening here? What do you think this tells us about the people at the boating party? Or what Renoir wants us to do as we think about the tension of the different people? So you guys are going to have to do this on the exam. It really would be great if you'd participate more actively. I know if you don't know the answer right away, it's probably pretty like, well, it's probably better for you not to say anything, except that this is going to be on the test. And I know that you should understand this stuff, but you may not have put together all of the different ideas. And this is a great opportunity for me to be able to help you to do really well on the exam. And just to understand how this whole elements of art and principles of design actually helps you to analyze a work of art. And to help you understand that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the painting temporarily. So what does this tell you about the movement of the painting, just based on where everyone's looking?
Okay.
This is one of those questions you guys answer.
Think.
Most people are looking at somebody else, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what does that mean when the people that you're talking to aren't the people that you're looking at? Is that the people they want to be talking to?
Suppose.
Are they thinking of who they're going to talk to next? Are they
Yeah, because like
watching?
this guy's looking at the guy with the hat, and that means he's gonna talk to him. So it's like eye contact really shows what the next picture is gonna be like.
Yes, so he's actually, Renoir is telling us what's going to happen next in the painting and who's interested in what. And even though their faces look like, oh, we're super interested, how interested can they be if they're looking at somebody else? So is everybody deep in conversation, or are they just kind of like mingling? So if everyone's just kind of mingling, does that mean it's a super serious energy in the painting, or is it just sort of relaxed? Knowing that, don't you get a sort of different feeling for what the boating party's all about? It's all about talking to each other and meeting people. All right, that's enough for movement for a moment. Let's move on to another one. So I'm going to add another layer. This time I'm going to talk about value. I'm going to change colors. Let's do a bright green. And I'll do value. Are you guys getting this at all, or is this making any sense?
Yeah, it is making a lot of sense.
Okay. I'm glad Marcus thinks so. How about Alexis and Aiden? I'm hearing silence. Okay, so this is value. So I'm going to take this whole white space right here and move that out of the way. And this area is a bright space. I'm going to take this. Actually, I'll take this whole area, and that's sort of this whole thing. So this is all a bright area. You got this bright area. And now I'm just kind of scribbling wherever I see a bright area. Okay, now I'm going to switch with values light and dark, right? So now I'm going to switch to, what's the opposite of green on the color wheel? Red. But I'm going to pick purple because we already used red for movement. I might want to look at both at the same time. Now I'm just going to go and shade in all the dark areas. So in a weird way, if you know the elements of art and principles of design, the artist can speak to you directly, even though he's been dead for over 200 years, which is kind of weird and creepy, but kind of cool also. Especially when you look at something, say, like the Lascaux cave paintings. The people who painted that, some of the oldest ones, they've been dead for 25,000 years. But we can still have a conversation with them and understand something about how they felt when they looked at the animals that are drawn on the cave painting walls. And I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of cool, the idea you can have a conversation with a 2,500-year-old dead guy. I think that's neat. So in this case, we're only talking to a 200-something-year-old dead guy, but that's still really cool. Okay, so now I'm going to delete the painting again. All right, so what is he doing? What is the basic shape? Do you see how the colors and the value make this sort of sweeping, almost like an arms open gesture that basically draws a giant arrow? Come on, pen tool. All right. We were using red for movement. That creates the light and the dark together, so the value and the composition creates this arrow. So you see how he guides our eye with the value and with the color. He changes the way that we look through the painting. So on one level, we have the eyes moving back and forth. So he's pushing us to the back right corner, and then we bounce back and forth among all the people until we get to the front. It's almost like a game of pinball. Do you guys kind of see how that works? So this is how we use the elements of art and principles of design to begin to understand how artists interpret work. Okay?
Yes.
That sounds like a question, but I'll take it. Well, anybody else? Thoughts? Questions?
Not really.
All right. Now, we're doing this on the iPad. You, on the exam, will not be using an iPad, so you're going to be able to draw these in little squares like thumbnails. Do you need me to show you how to do that again? Would you like me to show you how to do that with this
What's wrong with my Wi-Fi? I legit can't load anything.
Say again?
Like, the Google Meet is lagging so hard and I legit cannot load anything.
Would you like me to send you a video of this?
Fine.
Because I can. All right. Well, then that will have to do, and if you need me to, I will show you how to do it by hand, but I'll have to switch to a different camera to do that. All right, so I'm going to stop this, and